called out here to an F75. A new pump has been booked in by another engineer. I've got the pump here. But first, before we fit the pump, we have to make sure it is the pump. So what you'll do is when you reset the boiler, I like to see what happens when you reset the boiler. You can kind of tell straight away what the issue is. Yep, so you can hear the click, but the pump's not turning on. If you listen to this carefully, that click there. So pump looks like it's been leaking, but to make sure it is the pump, you can usually unplug this cable. What you would have to do is wedge a little screwdriver in here, lift that up, and then pull it out. I'll try avoid pulling on the cables too hard, as you can rip them out. Very rarely, but I've seen it done. So as the boiler's now trying to fire up, you've got the brown and the blue cable. What you want to do is AC. How to confirm that the PCB is given a pump power is, I would put the red probe into the brown section and then the black into the blue, and check if there's 240 volt when the pump is trying to kick in. So let me try to demonstrate that now. We will put this in there and this in there. Reset the boiler, it's probably locked out. 1 second. So reset the boiler. Got the 2 probes in there. Oh, we've got 240. So as the boiler tries to kick in, you get 240 volt, but the pump's not running. So changing the pump. Make sure you put these in properly as well. Sometimes they don't really touch the little plates inside, so you get false reading. Now, pump change. So ideally, before you start, if your boiler is at the highest point in the house, you would want to use your Allen keys and turn off the flow in return. But unfortunately, it looks like someone's bored out this hole and I cannot shut it off, so we will just be draining it down. So, key, small bag underneath, open up the drain. Drain on the boiler. Quite a lot of pressure in there. Let that drain down. Might take some time. So sometimes water pressure sensor is faulty, so when the boiler's drained down and this is still saying 2 bar, that's not good. Gonna have to replace that as well, because it looks like the boiler's nearly at 0. As you can see, the water's stopping now. Well, the boiler still says 1.9, so we will be also replacing the water pressure sensor. As you've got the boiler drain down, you want to pump up the expansion vessel religiously when you drain down the boiler. As you can see, it's pretty much a 0. For a small flat like this, 0.75 should be fine. So just give it a little pump, pump, pump. One hand pumping. Right, 0.75. We're gonna remove that little LDF, make sure it's not leaking. No bubbles, no bubbles. It's all good. And that's fine. We'll close that up. And I will quickly run over to the van to get a new water pressure sensor. As we've got it all drained down, we might as well do it now. Just quickly to change the water pressure sensor, which is this. To give ourselves some space, remove this screw. Probably gonna drop it. It's got one hand. Nope. Very good. Move the silencer out of the way. Just pops out. Now, that is the water pressure sensor. What you want to do is you lift this lip up here, and then you pull it out. That was pretty smooth, I have to say. Then move that out the way. What you want to do, I managed to do this with my finger. Some people use tools, but you want to pull out this clip, pull the clip out. Now, let me prepare this one quickly. So, pressure sensor, washer here. You want to give it some lubrication. Pop that. Alright, this is going to be hard with one hand, but what you want to do, pop this one out. It just pulls out. Pop this one straight in because there might be some water coming out of it. I tend to not like to flood the boiler, so you just pop this one out, pop this one in very quickly. Let me just see if I can angle this, maybe like this, maybe not. Right, trying to do one hand for the fans. Pop this one out. A new one in. Old one, as you can see, is choco blocked. So when you have an F75 on a Vaillant, it tends to be usually the water pressure sensor or the pump. It's pretty easy to tell. If your boiler comes on and the pump is running and you still get an F75, it usually means it's the water pressure sensor because it doesn't pick up the 0.2 movement on the pressure when the pump kicks in, which would cause a F75 lockout. And if you turn on a boiler and the pump just doesn't respond or turn on, as in the beginning of this video, then it's usually the pump. In this case, we've got two of them faulty, so yeah, good stuff. Both getting replaced. That one's in there. The interesting thing I find is that when you reuse the old clip, it goes in smoothly. When I use the new clip that's in the pack, I can never get it in. Or one hand magic again. What you want to do is go around here. Okay, this may be a bit more difficult with one hand. What I do is I use this hand and I put it in, but then when I've got my other hand there, I put my hand here and I just hold it up so it doesn't drop. But right now, I'm a bit limited. Okay, that's in. I think that's in. That's in. Boom. What you do after that, spin that and pop your cable back in. That's done. Silencer back on. Pops in on there. And secure the screw. Screw secured. That's fine. Boiler on. Correct pressure now. Back to the pump, which is what we're supposed to be doing in this video, but we got a bit sidetracked. So now boiler's drained down, sensor's done. What we're going to do is undo these 4 nuts. It's a good idea to have a pump key here, but since I like making things more difficult for myself, I use a screwdriver with a Torx head or just some kind of Allen key. Let's get into that. So just to recap quickly, vessel is topped up, boiler's drained down. We make sure the pressure on the displays was displaying the correct pressure, which is 0. And now we're undoing all the screws. So I've got quite a bit of residual water inside the system, as you can tell. I'm hoping this bag underneath will catch anything that leaks from the boiler. It covers the whole area of the bottom of this little shelf inside the boiler, so I'm just gonna go for the change quickly. Right, most of the water's here. I'll dry that up in a minute. Remove the pump head. Sometimes these get stuck. You can remove this and undo this gently with a pair of grips, but that's not the case here. It's just not responding. Full body, so take off the 4 screws if you're just changing the pump head. 4 screws off. New pump head ready to go on. Just make sure everything's fine. boom, get in there. So with the new pump in, I usually secure the top right screw first, which I've just done. Then I go for the bottom left, so diagonally across, just to make sure it's sitting there properly. Then top left. Make sure this is tight. You don't want no leaks again. And then bottom right. That's crazy. I don't even know how long I had the screwdriver for, and I've only just realized that it's holding pieces inside here. Nice. That's in, 4 screws on. Once the pump's in, cable. Make sure that's dry. Cable, and then we will want to be, I'll give that a little wipe after I try to get that off. We want to be going to top up the boiler, make sure there's no leaks, and then test. So let me go find where the filling loop is. But yeah, before you top up, don't forget to close, drain off. So filling loop is right there. It's gonna reach for it. Double click on the radiator to check the pressure. It sounded old and I'm just stretching. 1.5 is good. Any leaks? Not that I can see. Oh, but my drill bit's there. Get out of there, man. Shit. Now. There we go. Pump is pumping. Make sure the air vent's open. That's what we love to see, the flames. Right, after that, you know, same old 26.9s. Standard checks. Done. If you like the videos, like and subscribe, please. You know the deal.